Cajuns have won 8 of the last 9 meetings in this series between Louisiana rivals. And the opening tip is won by the Cajuns in their white uniforms to start this game. Cajuns at 11-20 on the season. The number 11 seed, it's the lowest seed they've ever had in the SUNBELT tournament. Mo on the drive, had his shot blocked. And the Warhawks come away with it. That's Bolden on the dribble as you take a look at the Warhawks. Bolden, Watson, Willis, Nagopo, and Young in the starting lineup. Warhawks just 7-24 on the season. They finished 3-15 in the conference.
Pass deflected that time as Jalen Bolden was making his move towards the baseline, trying to go cross court underneath the basket. 15 on the shot clock.
Watson on the dribble. Nagopo sets the screen. They deny the pick and roll. 6 on the shot clock and a foul called on the Raging Cajuns. It's going against Christian Wright. Bailed them out, so now 20 on the shot clock.
That's a gift there to get some more time. As you mentioned, shot clock winding down. They'll get 20 now to work with to try to reset.
Ball goes to Watson on the handoff, the dribble drive, and the attack the basket. Pass bounces in and out of the hands of Willis. Head it comes to Mo. He lost it. Garnett, Mo, as we'll call him, Cook, Wright, and Thomas. El Mutauakil is a lot to say every time he touches the ball. And he's going to touch the ball a lot.
Yeah, you make it sound very easy. How about Bolden there getting that long ball to go? It's a story about Bolden as he injured his ankle in the last regular season game. Did not know if he was going to be in action tonight. And literally right before tip, we find out not only is he available, he's going to start. Now he hits the first bucket of the game.
Bolden the rebound. That's a big boost for them to get him tonight. Would have been very difficult for them to win without him. On the pick and roll, and the ball is thrown away. As we take a look at your Bank Plus keys to the game.
Well, and not a surprise for UM Monroe. The key is the Bolden factor. Now that we know that he is playing, how well can he go on that sprained ankle? He averages 13 points, 6 rebounds a game. And for the Raging Cajuns, you have to control the pace. They are 0-15 when an opponent scores more than 70 points. So can they keep UM Monroe under that magic number?
Five on the shot clock as they go deep into the clock. Ball comes out to Mo on the drive. He gets stripped again. Second time they denied him on the dribble drive.
Yeah, he's had his hands on the ball every possession so far. Not surprising. That's why he gets to the line so much with free throws and attacking. But he's had a shot blocked and a forced turnover. Warhawks doing a good job defensively so far on the main player for the Raging Cajuns and Mo.
El Mutauakil is from Rabat, Morocco. By way of junior college when they signed him. Spin move, shot denied at the rim, and out of bounds. It's going to be the Cajuns' ball. Keith Richard retiring at the end of the season, so he's had a great run with ULM. Got him to the conference championship game in 2016, actually led at halftime. They were very close that year. His 15th season, 170 victories. Overall, 24 seasons as a head coach. But he's been at it in this business for 40 years.
Yeah, and he said it's just time. He's at peace with it. He knows he's ready to go, but he wants to finish out with a little momentum here in the tournament.
Thomas hits the corner three. Michael Thomas knocked it down.
If you picked Michael Thomas to be the first one on your scoring card with a three-pointer, congratulations. He only shoots 27% in conference play, but he gets the Cajuns on the board.
Watson, they run a double at him. Tried to go to Christian Wright right there. Ball got knocked out of bounds with 9 on the shot clock. And Derek Zimmerman, the interim head coach. The Cajuns parted with longtime head coach Bob Marlin back on December 19th. And Zimmerman has been the interim head coach ever since. Says he would love the opportunity to get the full-time job.
Yep. Hasn't had any discussions about that. He said the team has handled the transition well. He's been proud of the way that they have played and handled all of the changes. He said he's let they've let some games slip away, but he likes the way this team has been competing and buying into what he's trying to sell after the change.
Shot hits off the top of the backboard. He's been 8-11 since he replaced Bob Marlin. Of course, Bob Marlin was the class of the conference, arguably the best coach in the conference. They wanted him to retire at the end of the season. He said, I'll take it now.
That Tyrese Watson shot, we just talked about him. I don't see in my notes that we had take a jump shot, hit the back of the backboard.
No.
That wasn't one of our features.
No, sir. Again, they're doing a great job of collapsing on El Mutuakil because he has not been able to get a shot up yet.
And the Warhawks know he's going to get the ball. They have tried to go to him every single possession.
We're going to set a record for shots to hit the top of the backboard here in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Not pacing well, no.
3-3 in the opening 4 minutes. Warhawks are 1 of 3, as are the Cajuns. So you can tell by those numbers, both teams are going deep into the shot clock before they get a shot off. If they get a shot off. Mo in there finally got a shot off. He's now 0 for 2, but they're doing doing a great job of putting a body on him every time he gets in the paint.
And actually had some contact on that last one as he did a little ball fake, dipped his shoulder, no whistle.
Rattles around and out. And our first time out of the game, ULM and Louisiana tied at 3.
Derek.
Hey, Mom, I need to lay low for a couple days. There's too much heat on this car.
Too much heat.
I only paid for a Hyundai Tucson.
Ruth. Listen, Jenna, I need to lay low for a few days.
Why?
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 2.99% APR for 72 months on select Hyundai vehicles.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
The most dangerous and destructive champion in the sport, Magomed Ankalaev.
This guy can do it all.
Justin Gaethje is fearless. He has unbelievable power.
Rafael Badid, massive knockout.
'90-second meeting between these two state rivals, the Cajuns, with an overwhelming lead in the series. 64-27. And through all that, a little unusual that this is only the second time they've ever met in the Sun Belt Conference tournament.
And talk about the 2 times they met early this season. UL Monroe lost 71-68 and then 65-60. In game 1, the Warhawks won the points in the paint 34-18 and shot 45%. The biggest lead in that ball game for the Raging Cajun was just 4 points, but enough to win by 3. In the second game, how about this? Raging Cajuns were held without a field goal in the final 8 minutes and 20 seconds, but because they got to the free throw line, they were able to win that second game by 5, 65-60.
Yeah, Coach Derek Zimmerman says what I remember about the games was they were just all-out battles. Typically is when these two teams get together. Swiped on the break. That's Thomas with the layup.
Yeah, got a little extra step in there as well. Took off from the SUNBELT logo and snuck in a third step, but NBA calls in the SBC tournament. He'll take it and get the layup.
Thomas has all 5 points for the Raging Cajuns. Bolden, a lot of dribbling, pulls up, elbow shot and hit it. Jalen Bolden, their top scorer at 13 points per game.
You mentioned a lot of dribbling, but feeling confident, not worried about that ankle injury that he suffered in the last game.
And he's showing no effect of that.
Not at all.
On the curl, Garnett missed the three. One of the top three-point shooters in Cajuns history. He's number 4 in all-time three-point makes for the former walk-on.
I think Bolden also took a little pop in the eye. He was slow coming down the floor, kind of rubbing his face a little bit. Might have gotten a little finger in the eye.
Bolden logo three. Rebound controlled by the Cajuns. El Mutauakil gets inside and gets the reverse.
Nice up and under from Mo. Finally has a chance to get a clean look. He's been challenged so hard defensively, but now 1 of 4.
Drive to the basket and one. Strong move right there by Makai Willis, pardon me.
And Willis using all of that 6'8", 245 frame. Turns around. Need a little help getting the ball, and he sees just enough of an opening. And you see him coming over late as he draws the body contact and gets the foul called. But a nice, strong move by Willis to see an opening, take advantage of it, and drive it hard to the lane.
Willis averaging 10.5 points, 7.5 rebounds per game. He was 7th in the conference in rebounding. Had a big last week of the season. 28 points, 30 rebounds combined against James Madison and Arkansas State. Missed the three-point opportunity. We're still tied at 7. El Mutauakil, mid-range jumper. He's got a sweet stroke.
Yes, he does.
That was very silky smooth.
Don't worry about contact that time. Just takes one dribble, left him open from 10 feet on the side. He's able to put it in. Nicely done.
44.6% from the line from the field for him this season. But in this day and age, very unusual to see a scorer who's not a three-point shooter. Bolden with the mid-range. Warhawks up 2.
You see the respect they have on his outside shot because he threw up a ball fake and defender went flying right by him. That's why he was able to take one dribble and take it in a few feet closer.
Garnett works off the screen. Skip pass across the court to Thomas. 9 on the shot clock. Wing 3, knocked it down. Big shot out there. And the make by Kyron Ratliff.
That might have been the first full offensive possession for the Raging Cajuns where Mo did not touch it.
3-point lead for the Cajuns.
That was Ratliff's 8th three-pointer, by the way, in conference play. 7 of 22 in conference coming into this game.
Thomas goes around the screen, back to El Mutauakil, and he gets fouled.
Well, that's what he does. He's one of the best in the country getting to the free throw line. I'll tell you, even with a 6'6" frame, he's just crafty trying to get to the basket, sets that screen, rolls down the lane, gets the ball back. Can't get the shot to fall, but he'll have a chance to do it at the free throw line. He's done it all year.
12-9 lead for the Cajuns.
Navigating day-to-day activities while experiencing joint pain is tough. Andrews makes it better. Our team will create a plan of care just for you to help you regain mobility and reduce discomfort. From diagnosis to treatment to rehabilitation, let Andrews make it better.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
The heart of Louisiana's Cajun and Creole country. A melting pot of generations passing along a recipe of joie de vivre. Live music, boiled crawfish, and the smell of gumbo signify the season. This is Lafayette, a parish filled with culture and hospitality unlike any other. It takes more than a quick visit to understand why we're the happiest city in America. Start planning yours. Allons à Lafayette.
Back in Pensacola, 8 minutes into this one, and the 11th seed Louisiana Raging Cajuns leading the 14th seed ULM Warhawks 12-9. Matt Stewart, Victor Howell with you. Earlier today, we saw Southern Miss advance into the second round with a 3-point victory over Coastal Carolina. And the good news for the Warhawks is that Jalen Bolden is on the floor. He turned that ankle in their last game of the season against Arkansas State and was a question mark.
Averaging 13 points a ball games, we mentioned 6 rebounds a game. So we mentioned these two teams played twice. In the last meeting when they played, he had 16 points on 6 of 14 shooting. Also had 5 rebounds in that contest. Statistically, so far here through the first 8 minutes, pretty close, 3-point game. Raging Cajuns shooting 5 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 10 for the Warhawks. Both teams have 3 turnovers. Pretty even so far through 8 minutes.
El Muta Uakil misses the free throw. He was at the line 135 for 180 during the season. It's the second 75% free throw shooter and a 4-point lead now for Louisiana. Jacob Wilson, a surprise entree for ULM. When we spoke to Coach Richard a couple of days ago, they didn't think that he would be able to play. He had been out with an injury. So Jacob Wilson in there as well. So they're pulling out all the stops here. They got Bolden and they got Wilson available tonight.
And Wilson gets the foul called offensively for clearing out with the forearm. So as soon as he gets in the game, gets a foul call trying to get some separation between him and the defender.
Long three-pointer on a rim out by Hardy. Ball thrown away on the save, so it'll be ULM's ball.
Just finishing that thought on him. He last played February 13th. He suffered that injury. Yep. Baton Rouge native who played at Liberty High School.
And depth has been a huge issue for ULM this season, especially with the mounting injuries as they proceeded through the conference schedule. They've lost 4 straight, 7 of their last 8 games. They started 0-8 in the conference, then picked up a little steam in the mid portion, but then faded because of the aforementioned injuries. Diju with the basket.
Nice job by Diju to get in there close. Just a little baby jump hook right there, gets it up and in. Backed his way out there about 3 feet away.
Hardy on the drive, stops, out it goes to Davis, and the rebound by Diju.
Cajuns maybe not looking to go inside. 2 big bodies there on the inside with Diju and also with Willis, taking up a lot of space for the Warhawks defensively down there in the lane.
With El Muta Uakil on the bench, the question becomes, where's the offense come from as Diju banks it in and we're tied?
With 4 points here. He came in averaging just under 3, so good start for him. And the Warhawks, 2 of 2 from the floor. Now they're shooting 50%, 6 of 12.
ULM definitely has the size advantage on the Raging Cajuns.
Especially with that lineup they have right now, no doubt.
Coach Richard said the Cajuns are quicker than we are. We're bigger than them. The contrast of the styles, which one wins out, wins the game here tonight. Bolden with another basket, ULM on top.
Can't afford to leave him wide open. Great job of cutting to the basket from the far corner. That's too easy for a player of his talent level. He already has 9 on 4 or 5 shooting.
Right in the middle, Ratliff missed. after a nice feed from Thomas.
Well, you asked the question, where's the offense going to come from for the Cajuns? And now on a scoring drought of more than 3 minutes.
Long three-pointer from the logo. Thomas has the rebound.
Look how wide all those white jerseys are. 5 white jerseys. Not a lot of movement, but they're all standing outside the three-point line.
Yeah, 5-out offense.
Yeah. And when you haven't made a field goal in almost 4 minutes, you might want to take 4 out, 1 in, maybe 3 out, 2 in. How about some motion? Get something going offensively, get some bodies moving. Your offense with Mo is about to check back in at the next dead ball.
Ball knocked away and saved. 8 on the shot clock now. Wilson had it knocked away. Bolden has it. He got stripped. Here come the Cajuns. Hardy, layup. And 1.
Now that last offensive possession for the Warhawks was a bit of a hot mess. Almost 2 steals, almost an over and back. Winds up being a turnover and breakaway one-on-one. Body contact coming. Hardy takes it in all the way. He has 2 points and a free throw coming in what's a 15-15 game with just under 8 minutes to go.
It starts in darkness. And then suddenly, out of the darkness, energy. Beans ground, milk froth, shots poured, espresso shaken and shaken and shaken and shaken and shaken 10 times, no more, no less. This is the story of coffee and company. The Starbucks you love is ready. Hello again.
Beer. Told you you'd know the best spot.
Adventure bigger in the all-new Nissan Armada.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the sellies.
You gotta be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
7:59 to play in the opening half. Louisiana and ULM knotted at 15. Matt Stewart, Victor Howell with you as we are into game 2 of the first round at the Pensacola Bay Center.
Brandon Hardy going to the free throw line with a chance to cap off a 3-point play after getting fouled on that layup right before the timeout. He missed the first 9 games this season, had a broken jaw. Took him a minute to get into action. Twice this season has scored 15 points. That's his career high.
Completes the 3-point play, and the Cajuns are back on top. 16-15 lead for Louisiana. Ball nearly stolen again. Cajuns have posed some problems for the Warhawks with some pressure defense here. Getting up there on the ball dribbler. Pressuring the ball, and that's always been an issue for the Warhawks. They do much better against a zone team. That's one of the reasons they beat the #1 seed South Alabama twice this year. It's a better matchup for them. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Got to do something with it. Logo 3.
Start wondering if the Warhawks may want to take that mentality that Bolden's not going to play. They're thankful that he is, but he's got 9 of their 15, so where would they be without him? It looked like he wasn't going to play. The other players need to start stepping up a little bit.
The weave. And the dribble drive. Fields missed the bucket, and then the tip in. Jeremiah Evans, the big 6'10 freshman out of Shreveport, with his first bucket.
Great job of just getting to the rim to get that putback after what was a little bit of a bunny. It just bounced, second bounce off the rim and bounced out.
3-point lead, Louisiana. Foul's going to be called on Evans.
He had 8 points last time these two teams played, but last 4 games, been a bit of a struggle for him offensively.
He's out of Southwood High School in Shreveport. Spin move, DJU, reverse layup. Nice move.
How about watching that big man? 6'11", 250 with the spin move down the baseline to put that in. He's 3 of 3 from the floor with 6 points. He's averaging just under 3 per contest.
Some quickness for the big guy. Leads down to 1.
You know he's going to look to drive.
Yeah. El Mutuuakil missed the layup. He's now 2 for 6 from the floor.
Not that he won't shoot from the outside, but when he has that opportunity, he's going to drive for contact. That's why he always gets to the free throw line. As once again, DJU gets down there. This time he draws the contact.
Another strong move by DJU, and he's going to go to the foul line and shoot 2.
Let's take a look at him doing the work on the inside. Watch the quick spin. I love the fact that he takes a second to see where the defender is. He feels where Evans is on one side. He takes the side he's given him. Evans forces him to the baseline, but the quick spin and then the up and under. And now a chance to go to the free throw line.
DJU out of Dakar, Senegal. Started his college career at UAB.
The last 8 games played for DJU. Hadn't been an offensive threat. 4 of 14 from the floor, but 39 rebounds. And you can imagine at 6'11", 250, that would be a strong point. But what a start he's having for the Warhawks here in the first half of this ball game.
Game tied at 18. DJU now has 8 points in the game.
It might be. We're gonna have to go to a quick game note review to find out where we are in terms of season highs.
Bolden's got 9, DJU has 8, Willis has 2. That's your 19 for ULM. Foul's going to be called on the Warhawks, a reach-in foul.
Now, DJU has more games where he didn't score a point than, well, seriously, he's got more where he didn't score a point than he did double digits or even 9. His season high is 16 points that he had against Arkansas Pine Bluff. That was back in December, early December, and he opened up the season with 13 against Champion Christian, and that's it. So his scoring already tonight is 3rd highest on the season.
Playing with a lot of energy tonight as Wright knocks down the 3. Puts the Cajuns back on top. 21-19 with 5 minutes to go in the half. DJU right there in the middle of the paint, passes out of it to Wilson for 3, and he hit it. Second three-pointer for the Warhawks as Jacob Wilson knocks down the 3. ULM on top by 1.
34% from behind the line on the season. I'm surprised that the big man with all the momentum he has kicked that out instead of trying to drive it, but good on him to find the open teammate.
Yeah, smart move. Pass from good to better on the shot selection. Foul called on Bolden. First personal on Bolden. Five team fouls now on ULM. Hardy comes off the floor. Has that 1 3-point play on his score sheet. They fake the handoff, and the turnaround jumper is missed badly by Zeke Cook.
Yeah, he misplaced that one, spun to his left, and then shot it well left of the basket. You can hear the chance of air ball in the arena. That one was just mistimed and misplaced all the way around.
1 point lead Warhawks. They have the ball, 4 to go in the half. Ball comes to Wilson. He's going to attack.
Wide open.
And nobody picked him up, and he missed it off the back iron.
Well, you can see he's hopping mad. Literally, how do you miss that one? It was wide open. Nobody challenged that.
I think he was too wide open. He was anticipating some pressure that never came. El Mutauakil gets in there and missed another up close. This time he gets knocked to the floor. You get the idea. He's just going to keep pounding on that rock until it breaks through. 3:47 to play in the half. Warhawks on top by 1.
Hip and knee pain can make simple activities difficult. Andrews makes it better. Our team will create a plan of care just for you to help you regain mobility and reduce discomfort. From diagnosis to treatment to rehabilitation, let Andrews make it better.
Score big this season at Pensacola's Kia Autosport. Shop from one of the area's largest selections of award-winning new Kias with premium features, advanced technology, connected services, and safety features to give you peace of mind. Scan the QR code on the screen to view all of our great specials and see the value of your trade instantly. Come see why there are more Kias on the road every day. Only at Pensacola's Kia Autosport. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Online at KiaAutosportPensacola.com.
We want a Shia and a Kia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the power of a word. The anticipation, the adrenaline, the hair on the back of their necks rising. The crowd, the score rising. Greatness rising, the sun rising. Sometimes a word is best left all by itself. The SUNBELT Conference, 14 universities, 10 states, rising.
Basketball at the beach, back at the Pensacola Bay Center, day 1 of the Hercules Tires SunBelt Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. And the 14 seed ULM, a 22-21 lead on the 11th seed Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. Warhawks won only 3 games in conference play, 3 and 15, and 2 of those came against the team that's the #1 seed and will not even play until Sunday, South Alabama.
Go figure, and that's something that, you know, we discussed a little bit about the tournament format during game 1, and that's why my feeling is if you're going to play during the regular season, you deserve a shot, because you never know when a team like that, it's all about the matchups, right? If they've got too many bigs and you're built small, you know you're in trouble. But if it's speed on speed, size on size, you take your chances and go figure that your 2 big wins come up against a team at the other end of the bracket.
Yeah, really styles of play that benefited them. They're not great against teams that pressure them, pressure the ball. But when they play a team that's primarily a zone team, they feel like they match up well.
Watch this dribble.
They actually played James Madison well, too, and they're the 2 seed.
Watch this dribble. You know, everybody has their own routine at the free throw line. This is the first time I've seen this. It's not this dribble. It's that dribble.
That's crazy.
I've seen people spin it. I've seen people look at it, talk to it, dribble it 3 or 4 times. I've never seen the one front dribble, the one behind the back with staggered legs dribble. That's a new one.
Yeah, never seen that. Wonder what happens if you dribble it off your foot.
Yeah, what if
you get delayed
in the backcourt? You run and get it.
1 point lead for the Cajuns. The drive, the hang, the miss, and the rebound controlled by White. White gets it back, thought about a 3. El Mutauakil, reverse layup, wow. He was on one side of the bucket, flipped it back up on the other side.
Yeah, great handle there by Mo on the outside, and then finding the lane to the left, but then up and under to the right side. Great patience all the way around. Now 9 points on 3 of 7 shooting.
Got a great skill set. 3-point lead for the Cajuns. Their largest lead has been 4. Warhawks' largest lead has been 3, so they played this game so far in a tight score window. Garnett has taken only 2 shots and missed them both. Long 3-pointer air ball by Wright. And here's a look at our Hercules tires. Strong move of the game.
Through the legs, hesitation dribble, down the left side of the lane, but let's convert it on the right. Great drive by Mo and great ball handle. Look, 9 out of 10 times, you know if he has the ball like that in his hands and he's setting up, he's going to drive.
He averaged 13.8 overall, 17.2 in conference play. And a foul is going to be called on Mo. That'll be the first personal on El Mutauakil. And that's going to be 5 team fouls now on the Cajuns.
El Mutauakil not happy with that, but I had to do it just to practice because you're making it sound so easy.
Just to prove that you could do it, right?
20 minutes before the game, I'm in the corner rehearsing it over and over and over, and I settled on Mo.
He's got more letters in his last name than the alphabet.
Look, I'm just going to call him Baller. Seen enough already.
He is that. He is that.
Yeah. He just has a knack of getting to the basket. If not by the move you just saw a moment ago, the fact that he shot 190 free throws, whatever it is, and made 130 something on the year. He knows how to get there and draw that contact.
Most of his points come on the dribble drive, but he's got a sweet touch on a mid-range game. He's a fun player to watch. Rebound controlled by the Cajuns. Right,
nice reverse dribble.
Right down the defensive lane and missed it out of bounds. Yeah, he did a great job reversing the dribble after they ran a double at him.
Yeah, it wound up being a tough shot, but it wasn't for lack of effort with that stop and then crossover dribble to change directions, go the other way. On the rebound, it looked like maybe the Cajuns got a break. It looked like it might have gone off a white jersey, but it was an excellent move to get to the bucket, just not able to convert.
Thomas, the inbounder. El Mutauakil off the iron that time. And timeout called by ULM with a $1:30 left here in the first half. 4 games on the docket tomorrow, the first 2 women's games. Starting with Georgia Southern and ULM at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, then Marshall and Texas State. Georgia Southern and Marshall, the winners today, advancing. And then in our men's bracket, we'll see USM, Southern Miss, is already advanced. They'll take on the 9-seed Georgia Southern at 5 o'clock Central Time. And then the winner of this game will play the 10-seed Old Dominion at 7:30.
Close game in game 1 of the men's action. If you missed it, especially for Southern Miss down the stretch, their leader fouls out of the ball game with just under 4 minutes to go. Jade Ladder had told us in our conversation, we need to win, but we're going to need somebody to step up, and they were put to the test when he went to the bench. And sure enough, Eagles able to get it done and advance for another day.
I asked Coach Richard if he was thinking about retirement and the finality of his career. He goes, do I think about that lake I'm going to be sitting on with that fishing pole? He goes, yeah, I do. So, turnover Warhawks. That's what's so unusual about El Mutauakil's game is that he won't take the 3. I mean, he had a look.
Yeah.
He had a look there, and any other college player typically would launch a 3 right there. He doesn't do it.
That's a good cut baseline. Now he's going to drive.
Stepped on the baseline.
Yep, a little bit of a bump, but not enough to get the foul called. That's also somebody, and he might be able to shoot the 3. As you mentioned, he's got a nice mid-range shot. But again, when you go to the free throw line as much as he does, he knows most are taught you don't foul a jump shooter. So he has the ability to drive the lane, and if he can't get all the way, chances are he's going to force you to contact him. Oh, that's a second bunny now. ULM has missed right there.
Nagopo missed that one, yep. That was a great feed by Bolden, too, on the dribble drive penetration, and a timeout called by the Cajuns.
Look, you hit that shot, it's tied. You make a defensive stop, you're going in, and you still have a chance to tie it. You can make a stop here. But those kind of bunnies start to add up when you miss those.
Both teams have 9 field goals. Warhawks 9 of 22, 41%. Cajuns 9 of 25, 36%. Coach Richard in his 15th season as the Warhawks head coach, 26 years with the program as a player, assistant, and head coach. He was a SunBelt Coach of the Year when he was at Louisiana Tech when the Bulldogs were in the SunBelt Conference back in 1999, and then again in 2015 here with the Warhawks.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 40 years total. And we don't have time during this broadcast to discuss it, but Coach Richard is one of the really good guys in the business, and I'd love to talk to him. You know, we've seen coaches around the country that have done it. Miami's coach stepped down as an example. You know, Nick Saban left on the football side. But the changing landscape of college sports with the NIL and the portal, you know, Richard's been doing it so long, and you try to do it the right way. The way the game is changing, how much of that has impacted the desire to want to get out?
Yeah, no doubt. You've seen it with so many coaches. Tony Bennett at Virginia, Jay Wright at Villanova, Larinaga, who you mentioned at Miami. They just can't build their programs like they used to. It used to be built on relationships.
Trust, building a program, being a part of
recruiting
a
kid, building trust and confidence in that kid, and making the connections with the parents that they would entrust that kid to play in your program. Now it's so much transaction.
Yeah, it's the players running it. They feel like, a lot of them feel like they're better. It's almost like they're trying to tell the coach, I'm better than what you think I am. You don't play me, I'm going to go somewhere else. And what also is amazing is how many players play well, even on a winning team, and then still leave, after you help lead a team to a championship.
Yeah. Well, I think there's arguments to be made on both sides. I mean, the players, I think everybody agrees now, need to be paid. Or most everybody agrees they need to be paid. And so, but there needs to be some guardrails put on the system, and that's going to come into place in the summer once the settlement is in place and the regulations are put in place. You know, things will be a little bit more in control in what right now is out of control.
Out of control big time, and we shouldn't just, as we're discussing this, how about this play from Castor with 0.7 to go, going the length of the floor and getting a shot up, getting the contact. It didn't go in, but a chance to go to the free throw line. Was a great effort here right at the end of the first half. Like I said, we could spend all game talking about this, and I think it's a great conversation with coaches who are on top of it and coaches who are fed up with it, coaches who have to deal with it, because there's so many different angles.
Well, they just can't build their programs like they used to, and you made the point. I mean, it used to be kids only transferred if they were disenchanted, if they weren't getting their playing time, if they weren't happy. Now the transfer comes because there's a better opportunity, or they just want to see if there's a better opportunity. So it's halftime here in Pensacola, and a 26-24 lead for the Ragin' Cajuns. The 1 and 2s don't play until Sunday. The 3 and 4s play on Saturday. The 5 and 6 play on Friday.
And what will be interesting, and it would be a heck of a challenge for either one of these teams, the winners we see tonight, because it is such a long road ahead. But as we talked about in game 1, you need to go on a 6-game win streak to win the NCAA tournament. And they talk about how challenging that is. Be interesting to see with the top seeds, as you see Mo getting another basket to start the second half. It might be interesting to see if one of these teams, whether it's a lower seed, let's say it's a 6 or 7, who plays 2 or 3 games and is getting on a roll, then all of a sudden sees a top seed who's been sitting around for a week. Does any of that play into this with a team that's now found its groove against a team that's been resting?
Yeah, I mean, but when you talk about a team that's been playing, and that's Bolden knocks down a big 3 here, so El Mutauakil and Bolden start the scoring for their respective teams here in the second half, and a 1-point lead for the Cajuns. I just think the fatigue factor, once you get 3 games deep, that's a lot of games in 3 days. And once you get to 4, man, you're in uncharted territory.
No, I agree.
Nobody plays 4 in 4 days.
Right.
Except this time of the year every once in a while.
I agree. Saw another 3-pointer there by Thomas. So both teams coming out firing away here to start the second half.
That's the first points for Thomas since he scored the first 5 points of the game.
Well, they've tried twice to get it to the big man. The pass has been deflected both times.
Elbow jumper, and the rebound controlled by the Cajuns. Three-pointer, rim out. 4-point lead, Louisiana. Back down the floor. That's Colty Young, who's one of their top scorers. He's been absent in this game pretty much. Scoreless in 19 minutes in the first half. Never called his name.
There you see on the breakaway. Not a surprise, going all the way to the basket is Mo.
That's kind of what I was alluding to for the Warhawks. Got to be a little bit scared. He was not that efficient, 3 for 8 shooting, and he's hit his first 2 shots here in the second half. If he gets cranked up and is shooting and driving and scoring efficiently like he can, could be real bad news for the Warhawks.
This is their first real look at the basket with 5 on the shot clock.
Nagopo had it stolen away, and then the Warhawks took it right back, and a foul called on Louisiana, and they got bailed out.
What a
Cajuns
bailout.
got totally bailed out on that. They had no place to go with it, and the clock was near 0.
They're going to take a look at this. They want to make sure that the foul was called on number 2, and that's Garnett. He was the one you saw clapping, looking at the official saying all ball. They called him, but now they're going to want to take a look at it to confirm that, in fact, it was a 3-point attempt. An attempt might be a kind word. That was a heave with the shot clock running out, and then got bailed out by the foul, but they want to take a look and see if, in fact, he was behind the line.
So we have official review right here. So this review determines whether they're going to be taking 2 free throws or 3.
I don't think there's any question.
Yeah, he's definitely behind the 3-point line.
About a foot and a half behind the line.
The reset, so that's a second. That's a 3.
Yeah, I agree. You could hear the official. It's nowhere near. That was a 3-pointer all the way.
Call is confirmed.
So 3 free throws coming up for the Warhawks.
Yeah, and that's a big bailout because of the way that the Raging Cajuns have started this half. In terms of scoring, they've already taken 5 field goal attempts and hit 3 of them, including a 3-pointer. So to get 3 free throws and have a chance to make it a 1-possession game again at the line is something they need to take advantage of.
Tyrese Watson, scoreless in 17 minutes so far in this game, steps up to the free throw line. Still scoreless.
He's 86% from the line in conference, 81 overall, which is outstanding.
Yeah, he's number 1 in the conference overall at 81. Now, there are guys that have shoot better percentages, don't have the makes and attempts to qualify among the leaders, so that's why he's the leader in the conference. But either way you slice it, he's a really good free throw shooter.
Only point, 0 for 4 from the floor. That's going to the basket.
Lost the dribble on the spin move.
Yep. You could tell where he was going. He has some momentum coming off that high screen in the curl. There's no doubt about it. He's going to the basket just on the spin. He lost control. It's a 5th turnover for the Cajuns.
Watson was a guy they felt like they needed to get some production from tonight, whether Bolden played or not. And there's the jumper, Nagopo.
Oh, Nagopo with the little spin, ball fake up and under and shoot it from 8 feet. Up is down, down is up. What is going on? The big men for the Warhawks are showing out tonight.
And Nagopo and Diju, they bring a lot of mass to the floor. 3-point attempt off the back iron. And nice offensive rebound and put back by Muta Uwakil. 5-point lead for the Cajuns. Bolden's their leading scorer with 12. Probing. 8 on the shot clock now for the Warhawks. Offense is a little bit stuck in mud here in the second half. Bolden on the drive, missed the banker. And Bolden saves it, wrong color jersey. 5-on-4 for the Cajuns.
Oh, you had your teammate going right there to the baseline, didn't even try to look at him. Christian Wright was all alone. But why not go to Mr. Automatic with Mo underneath the basket?
Oh, Mutauakil now with 16 in the game. I think this is what I was referring to at halftime. You got to be a little frightened. Now he's starting to get going. They don't have an answer for him.
Heating up. And then shots like that just aren't rolling in. There's a foul.
He just committed the foul.
Yep, he did.
That's good news for the Warhawks, but that'll be the second personal on El Mutauakil. And we'll step aside for a timeout. 4.5 minutes into the second half and a 7-point lead for the Cajuns. Five-point lead for the Cajuns. Just over 15 minutes to play in regulation here. Matt Stewart and Victor Howell with you. Game 2 of the first round. The 11th seed Cajuns, lowest seed they've ever had. They've always had a lot of success in Pensacola, though. They're 9-3 in the tournament here since it moved to the Panhandle. Reaching the semifinals the first 3 years. They won it all in 2023. The Warhawks have never won a tournament game in Pensacola.
It's 11-8 second half, almost 5 minutes into it. 5 of 8 from the floor for the Raging Cajuns. 62.5% this half, just 3 of 7 for the Warhawks from the floor. And just of note, might not lead to anything, but as we're going to commercial and the teams are walking off, there's a little bit of bumping and then some chatter going on between the Warhawks and Mo, just to see one of those where you kind of walk by somebody, you bump shoulders, but they didn't like it too much and started chatting back at him and got him talking to him. Let's just see if it leads to anything. It might not be anything, but sometimes things start to brew when you see that happening.
Watson hits the free throw and cuts the Cajuns' lead to 4. Looking to get the ball to El Mutauakil. Puts it on the floor, mid-range, off the iron. Rebound controlled by the Warhawks. Reach-in foul, silly foul, long way away from the basket.
Go back and take a look. This is as we're going to timeout. See the bump right here, and boy, he turned around quickly. That's Therese Watson. Remember, he's frustrated anyway because he doesn't have a field goal. Well, he has one. He's 1 for 6. But that's what we were talking about. And then it extended a little bit into the timeout before coaches and officials stepped in and said, everybody go take a seat. But it's just the little things like that. And, you know, Watson's frustrated anyway because we talked about his numbers, averaging 12 a game. He's 1 of 6 from the floor, just 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Maybe he's letting some of his frustration out.
They run a double at Wilson, and he coughs it up, but it fumbles the ball directly to
Diju, your man.
Who gets another basket. He's in double figures now with 10.
Sure is.
Right place, right time. Right place, right time for him. Warhawks are down only 2.
How about 4 for 4 from the floor, 2 for 2 from the line, 2 assists, 2 rebounds in 11 minutes.
Left open for the 3, and Christian Wright makes him pay for it. Second 3 for him, 5 now for the Cajuns. Diju on the drive. Actually, that was Nagopo who gave it up, and then Diju put it in and got fouled or just lost out of bounds.
Yeah, that's his first miss. He was able to get that up off the rim. That's his first miss of the night. Then the ball goes out of bounds off the Cajuns, so it'll stay with the Warhawks.
Reset the clock to 20 seconds. Colty Young averages 12 a game. He is scoreless in 24 minutes.
Yep, we saw this in the first game too. There's a pull-up
three-pointer.
jumper.
Tyrese Watson scoreless in the first half, starting to heat up here in the second.
Remember, we saw this in the first game where there were some players for Southern Miss scoreless. Alvarez come to mind. He had all 9 of his points in the second half, so there's still time for some of these players to try to find some offense and get going, and maybe Watson's one of them.
Yeah, 7 second half points for Watson as the Warhawks have cut the Cajuns' lead to 2. Garnett's another guy. He's their second leading scorer. He has not scored for the Cajuns. The runner and the hook shot.
Boy,
Brandon Hardy.
What's so disappointing for the Warhawks is you play such good defense for about 36 seconds, and then you drop an open lane and let them drive all the way to the rim to get an easy one.
Diju passes out of the double team. Bolden corner 3. Ball tipped up in the air. Run opportunity for the Cajuns. Thomas dishes. Back to Thomas it comes, and he lays it in.
Well, that's a nice ball handling. Warhawks had players back, but then you just make them work a little extra for it. Drive the lane, little ball fake, kick it back out. That's well done by the Raging Cajuns to now get it back up to a 6-point lead. That was wide open.
Underneath. Bolden sticks it in. Bolden now with 14.
Starting to think, what's he waiting for? He was wide open. Then a couple of ball fakes later, he had 2 defenders around him, made it a little more difficult than it needed to be. He now has 5 in this half.
Cajuns 4-point lead. They led by as much as 7. The Warhawks' largest lead was at 3-0.
That's the 4th foul on Jacob Wilson, as Wright was driving into the lane and then hit the deck. Wilson has 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting, also has 3 rebounds, but now 4 fouls in his 11 minutes.
Yeah, he was the surprise player here tonight. We were told that he would be out, but he's made it back in for what might be their final game of the season. He had not played since mid-February because of his injury. Thomas spin move, shovels it up there and in. Thomas now in double figures.
How about that for players averaging 5 points a ball game, up to 12 already.
Contact, no whistle, dribble drive. Dish goes to Wilson. 12 on the shot clock. And the layup. Tyrese Watson now with 9 second half points.
By the way, Michael Thomas on career watch. His season high and career high was 17 against Rice back in mid-November. He's at 12 right now. More than double his season average. Just something to keep an eye on as we develop here in the second half.
Long 3-pointer, Watson air ball. Or Thomas, not Watson, but Thomas with the air ball. And 11 minutes to play in regulation. Timeout, 46-42, Cajuns on top.
Derek.
Hey, Mom, I need to lay low for a couple days. There's too much heat on this car.
Too much heat?
I only paid for a Hyundai Tucson.
Ruth. Listen, Jenna, I need to lay low for a few days.
Why?
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 2.99% APR for 72 months on select Hyundai vehicles.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
Alex Pereira, the most dangerous and destructive champion in the sport, Magomed Ankalaev. This guy can do it all.
Justin Gaethje is fearless. He has unbelievable power.
Rafael Fiziev, massive knockout.
Now 41 the score as we return from break. Matt Stewart, Victor Howell with you. During the timeout, they went to review a three-point shot by Watson from a few minutes earlier and determined that he was actually inside the three-point line when he hit the shot. So the three was changed to a 2, and so therefore it's a 5-point lead for the Cajuns.
But definitely still within range with the way these two teams have played this season. Nothing to panic about. You just don't want to start letting it get away here with 11 minutes to go, down 5.
No, you want to keep it close. Give yourself a shot at the end.
It was 2 at the half. It was 5 at the last media timeout, so they played the last 4 minutes even to keep it at 5.
Ball goes to Diju. This time he got denied, got fouled though. Thomas is going to be called for the foul.
I'm not sure how many times this year the Warhawks have said, let's get the ball to Diju. But tonight's the night. He sets the screen, just backs his way in. And with that body frame, he just turns and takes all the momentum and weight with him going towards the basket and draws the contact.
Well, given that kind of the interesting contrast these two teams is ULM has the size, Cajuns have the speed, have the quickness, we should say, which one wins out. So they have tried to utilize their size advantage, and they've been able to effectively do that with Diju's got 10 points now.
Yeah, make it 11.
Make it 11
that made
with
free
that
throw.
free throw. That free throw makes it 11. And that one makes it 12.
Perfect from the line. 4 for 4 from the line, 4 for 5. His only miss was when he earlier in this half when he went up forward trying to draw contact and missed on the layup. The ball was going out of bounds.
Warhawks have cut it to 3. 10.5 to go. Thomas dribbled it off his foot. Unforced error. Just the 6th turnover for the Cajuns. So the Warhawks come down the floor, chance to cut it to 1 or even tie it with a 3. They're 3 for 9 on their threes. Bolden has 2 of the 3. Backdoor cut goes to Bolden. They pull it out. Go to Diju. Mid-range jumper off the mark. Diju tried to keep it alive with a tip and couldn't.
You can see there's still some of the game Diju's trying to learn. Yes, he's a senior. Some of the things like the high screen and then turning around and immediately turning around wanting the ball instead of getting down in position to post up. Such a big frame, though. Somebody's open. 2 players closed out on the ball. There he is. Yep.
And Thomas buried the 3. Michael Thomas now with 15.
And that was long range, but you knew somebody was open when 2 players converged on the ball on the wing to try to double team. Thomas made it pay for leaving him alone.
DG on the pick and roll, and a foul's going to be called on the Cajuns.
Go back and take a look at that last 3 for the Cajuns here. Ball goes to the wing. There's the 2 dark jerseys. Where's my open man? And with a foot on the logo, he drains the 3-pointer. Just 29% on the season from deep, but he's hit 3. In fact, half of his made field goals tonight have been 3-pointers. He has half of theirs as a total. As a team, they have 6. He's 3 of 5 from deep and now 2 points away from his career high.
Michael Thomas has had a big game. Big reason why the Cajuns are up 6. DG missed the free throw. Just his first miss of the night. Kentrell Garnett has yet to score in this game. Dishes to Thomas instead, who's had the hot hand. Rebound controlled by the Warhawks.
Yeah, a bit of a heat check moment for Thomas. Remember, before the timeout, he took a 3-pointer and airballed, then he nailed one from the logo. That time, that one comes up just a bit short. That's a man that needs to get going for the Warhawks a little bit.
Bolden hits the floater on the baseline.
He had 9 at the break. He now has 16 in the game, so 7 this half.
Hawks keep hanging around. They're down 3, 8.5 to go. 3-pointer, Garnett finally gets going. And a timeout called as Garnett hits the 249th 3 of his career. Gives the Cajuns a 6-point lead.
Find your ultimate playground at visitcalifornia.com.
It starts in darkness. And then suddenly, out of the darkness, energy. Beans ground, milk froth, shots poured, espresso shaken and shaken and shaken and shaken and shaken 10 times, no more, no less. This is the story of coffee and company. The Starbucks you love is ready. Hello again.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee. La-di-da-di-da. And the beat goes on.
Sometimes the greatest rush
Beat goes on.
is not rushing at all in the all-new Nissan Murano. With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
52-46, Louisiana. 6-point lead on ULM with 8:24 to play in regulation.
See, coming back out of the huddle from the timeout is Mo. He's been on the bench for the last couple of minutes. The difference between this half and when we saw him go to the bench early in the first half, Warhawks made a move when he was on the bench. Got the game close, actually took a little bit of a lead. This time, while he's been on the bench, the Cajuns have actually extended the lead by 1 point. So nice job with other players stepping up while their leader, who has 18 points on the night, was on the bench for a few minutes. And the man carrying the load for that has been Thomas.
Thomas has had a big ball game here tonight. 15 points on 6 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 6 on his threes. Throw in a couple of assists, 3 of them actually, and 3 rebounds too. Winner gets Old Dominion tomorrow night. 3-ball miss following his own miss and a collision going for the rebound. Let's see who they call the foul on.
Yeah, that's going to go the other way. That's going to be on the Warhawks because the shot came up short for Wilson. Then Jacob Wilson wanted to try to get at it. He could tell that it was short. It was an empty lane, but he's the one that initiated the contact. And
that's going to be
foul.
number 5 on him or
5?
4? I think it's going to be.
You're right. That's it. That's number 5.
Number 5 on Wilson, and he is done for the night. And we have a timeout with 8 minutes to play.
Target made Up and Up for you, helping you save on storage solutions with bags in all shapes and sizes. So everything has a home. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made Up and Up for you, only at Target.
It starts in darkness. And then suddenly, out of the darkness, energy. Beans ground, milk froth, shots poured, espresso shaken and shaken and shaken and shaken and shaken 10 times, no more, no less. This is the story of coffee and company. The Starbucks you love is ready. Hello again.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the selfies.
You gotta be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
See a disappointed Jacob Wilson, who is fouled out with 3 points in 15 minutes. Surprise entry into the game here tonight. He had not played since mid-February because of injury. And the indication we had received is that he was not going to be able to play, but he did play tonight. You can see he's not happy.
Yeah, you see the frustration, averaging 9 points on the season, but 11 in conference. He had increased his rebounds per game in conference. He had increased his points per game in conference. His shooting was even in terms of the field. His free throw percentages had increased, but that injury kept him out for a few weeks, gave it a go here, but not the way he wanted to end the season.
Maybe the season won't end. ULM will have to come back and win for that to happen, for him to get another game tomorrow night. Cajuns have a 6-point lead. We go under 8 minutes to play in regulation. Elmuta Uakil in the paint. He's so deadly when he gets in the paint.
And you saw how smooth Elmuta Uakil made that last play. Just baseline into the middle, hit the break, one little half ball fake, got 2 players to jump, and then just spun right around and hit the easy shot. Made that look too easy to get to 20.
Bolden drives the baseline, dumps back out to Diju. Straight on 3, Colty Young. Rebound underneath in the putback. Willis with the points.
Good strong take by Willis too, drawing a little contact, but threw up a ball fake and then didn't hesitate with bodies in the air, just take it up strong.
That's 5 now for Willis to go along with 4 rebounds. He averages 10.7 rebounds a game. 5 out on offense. Clear the lane and let Uakil do his business
Yep.
here.
We've seen that offensive set a lot tonight from the white jerseys, going 5 out.
Fumbled out of bounds. Christian Wright turned it over.
Watch this rebound last time down. Look, one little fake right there and then powers it up. You see Mo step back. He didn't want to get his 3rd foul. But that allowed for the open lane for him to take it up and power it in.
Colty Young, 3-point attempt off the back iron. Colty Young's been their top 3-point shooter this year, but has not been able to get one to fall tonight.
Willis tried to one-hand that rebound, and they just came and took it from him. Possession's so important right now. You're at the 6-minute mark. It's only a 6-point game. A made 3-pointer or a drive and end one. Just you're right back into this thing.
Garnett drives, mid-range jumper. Controlled by the Warhawks. Bolden across quickly, attacks the rim, puts it in.
Wow. How about that, going against the momentum? Drives the lane, going to the left, but is able to put it up by going back against the grain on the right side to get that to rattle in, and here we are, a 4-point game.
Junior guard just taking things over right there. He's got 16 now. With that bucket, he actually has 18 now. It's 54-50.
Take a look at Bolden again, driving the lane, hits the brakes. Now watch, he's floating left, puts the ball in his right hand, going against the grain and with the defender in his face, and gets it to rattle in 2 or 3 times against the rim to drop down. That's a tough shot.
Big time play by Bolden, who's 2 points away from his 5th 20-point game of the season. Fancy pass right there from Mo. Hardy misses the wing 3.
Just like that now, 4-point game, you get possession. You've made a couple of big stops. In fact, Cajuns have gone almost 3 minutes now on a scoring drought. Here's your chance.
I think El Mu'utakil was a little bit unselfish there. He should have been selfish.
Yeah, when he was driving the lane, you go ahead and put that thing in. Look at the friendly roll.
Got the bounce and the 3. Lead down to 1. Bolden with his 5th 20-point game of the season.
This is what you like to see. When a team is on a scoring drought, you score. It's a 7-0 run for the Warhawks, while the Raging Cajuns have been trying to figure out what to do on offense.
Garnett,
it's an air ball.
Air ball.
Yeah.
Chance for the Warhawks to take the lead. The up and under, and the rebound by El Mu'utakil.
Yeah, they had their last lead was at 22-21. That was 5 minutes to go in the first half. Another miss.
Long outlet comes to Bolden. He's got one man to beat. And a foul is going to be called here on the floor against the Warhawks. And that will be team foul number 4 on, actually it's called on Louisiana. It'll be team foul number 6 on the Raging Cajuns. 3:47 to go. Anybody's game down the stretch.
Target made up and up for you, helping you save on storage solutions with bags in all shapes and sizes. So everything has a home. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made up and up for you, only at Target.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Patayo.
And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. I really like the marinated chicken breast because the spice comes in at just the right moment.
Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. It's highlighting the flavors in the chicken. That's what really makes me happy. Are you gonna eat all your fries?
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st, rated PG.
Lex Pereira, the most dangerous and destructive champion in the sport, Magomed Ankalaev. This guy can do it all.
Down to our final 3:45 here in Pensacola. Winner will advance to take on Old Dominion in the second round, and Louisiana, which has led most of the game, but it's been played in a tight score window.
Yep.
Leads at 54-53. The largest lead for the Cajuns, 8. The largest lead for the Warhawks, 3, and that was when they hit the first shot of the game.
And I know things have changed, but I do want to remind you that these two teams played twice. And in that first game, the largest lead for the Cajuns was 4. They wound up winning that game by 3. And in the second game, Keith Richard's team held the Cajuns scoreless for the final 8 minutes, but somehow found a way to lose. And I only bring that up is because right now the Cajuns are on a scoring drought of 4 minutes down the stretch.
Here's a look at the recap. A 3-point win on January 11th. Garnett had 15 in that one. Stolen away by the Cajuns.
Oh, what a backbreaker.
And is that going to be an offensive foul?
Yeah, it looked like an offensive.
Yeah, he looked like he pushed off. He looked like.
But what a backbreaker coming out of a timeout with all the momentum, down 1 and a chance to take the lead, and on the second pass you turn it over. 7th turnover on the game, but boy, what a costly one.
Pretty sure Coach Richard not thinking about that lake, that boat, or that fishing pole right now. They can wait another day if they can get the win. Straight on 3, and a big one. Thomas hits another huge 3-pointer for the Cajuns. 18 for Michael Thomas, and a 4-point lead for Louisiana.
What a way to get your new high when it was 17 coming into this game, but to do it and then extend this lead. But how about coming right back with a 3-pointer?
Big answer right there by Watson. And he's now got 11. It's a 1-point game again with 3 to go.
How many other players want to join Bolden and Watson now after that 3 with some energy? Seen some flat-footed Warhawks on the floor for a little while, but they're trying to inject them with a little energy here in the final few minutes to try to play another day.
Watson out on the logo with 7 on the shot clock. He's had some big shots out there tonight. Spin move, and Thomas lost it, scoops it up to beat the shot clock. A shot clock violation, didn't hit anything. But a big night for Michael Thomas tonight. 18 points in 26 minutes of work, 7 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 7 on his threes.
It's the 8th turnover for the Raging Cajuns. It's the 2nd by Thomas. And one thing we have seen from him, like that possession, just a little too much dribbling, a little too much showcase through the legs and dribbling around while the shot clock winds down.
Under 2.5 to go. Warhawks a chance to take the lead. Bolden on the pass to Young, had the shot blocked against the backboard.
What a block. Cook meets him at the rim with a chance for the first lead since 22-21. Watch this defensive play, help defense.
Wow.
Boy, you see Diju spinning his head. What happened? Where'd the ball go? What a play by Cook to come from the free throw line and pin that ball against the glass.
So Cajuns ball, 1-point lead approaching the 2-minute mark after the big defensive play by Zeke Cook.
That's his 13th block of the season and maybe the biggest one of the season.
Behind the screen, Thomas with his hands on the ball, another screen. Dribbles into traffic, and whose ball? It's going to be the Cajuns' ball on the baseline, 12 on the shot clock.
3 opportunities for the Warhawks in the last 3 possessions to take a lead and have not been able to get it done. The opportunity is right there for them. 2 turnovers and a blocked shot pinned on the glass.
7 on the shot clock. Garnett takes a 3 and rim out. Rebound controlled by the Cajuns, but a foul called on the Warhawks.
That's going to be on Diju on the inside. Just wasn't in good position. Tried to flip that ball out, get his hand on it, got the foul.
3rd personal on Diju. 5th team foul on the Warhawks. 1:49 to go. Still anybody's game. But ULM, as you pointed out, Victor, they have to capitalize. They've had multiple opportunities here down the stretch and not gotten it done yet.
Yeah, you were down 6 Every time you hit a shot, they hit a shot, then all of a sudden you made a little bit of a move, but you've gotten this far now and you've been given 3 opportunities with the ball in your hands. And remember, it started coming out of that timeout. Second pass, it was a turnover. And since then, it just have had 3 possessions. It cannot get the ball up off the rim. Even that last one couldn't get to the rim because it got pinned against the glass.
Timeout called.
And what's been interesting down the stretch here is that when you talk about the Raging Cajuns, you know who hasn't touched the ball? Mo.
Yeah.
Thomas has had the hot hand and hit that 3-pointer to get a career high, but when you've needed a bucket, you've hit one of your last 7. That one was the 3-pointer by Thomas.
1-point game, 1:49 to go. 1 timeout left for the Cajuns, 3 for the Warhawks. Quadruple header tomorrow here in the SunBelt Basketball Championship, starting in the women's bracket at 11:30 Central Time. Georgia Southern playing ULM, followed by Marshall and Texas State. Then the men back on the floor in the evening at 5 o'clock Central. Southern Miss that beat Coastal Carolina in our first game today will play Georgia Southern. The winner of this one will play Old Dominion. Foul right away, and that was, I think it was before the shot.
Oh boy, the way the official kept his arm up, it's like they were calling it in the shooting motion.
I think they did say it was in the shooting motion. They're giving him 2 shots.
Boy, the Warhawks converged.
Yeah, it would have to be, otherwise, yeah, it has to be a shooting foul because they're not in the bonus yet.
Converged very quickly when he got the ball, try to get around him.
Big miss for El Mutauakil. 20 points for him tonight, 6 rebounds. It's his 3rd miss at the foul stripe. He's 4 for 7.
I can't get over this free throw prep. 1.
That's crazy.
Behind the back, boom.
I've never seen anybody do that, and he hits the 2nd one. Cajuns have a 2-point lead. They'll take him off the floor on the defensive end. Making the defensive substitution here.
And going full court press. See if they can force a careless mistake.
And if not that, just slow down the offense a little bit, make them take time to get it across half court. Colty Young, big 3-pointer. Colty Young, 0 for 7 for the game and 0 for 4 on his threes. Just buried a big 3. ULM has the lead.
What a big corner shot as they take Mo out. They put Ratliff in with size, but swing the ball around after getting past what turned out to be token full court pressure. But sling it down the baseline, and he drills it from the corner. All of a sudden, new life for the Warhawks here with under 90 seconds to play and the first lead since, what, 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Colty Young, number 2 in the Sun Belt Conference, 39.1% behind the arc. And number 4, 2.7 threes per game. But that was his first 3 of the night after missing 4 behind the arc.
And missing 7 total on the ball game.
Right.
But hit the biggest 3 of the season so far. Still some work to do. But there's reason to believe when there was a lot of doubt early on and it seemed like some flat feet and some long faces realizing the end of the season might be near. And now all of a sudden you find yourself with the lead and a fighting chance to move on.
Will the Warhawks get that elusive tournament victory in Pensacola and keep Keith Richard out of retirement for at least one more day?
I think he'd be ready to accept that. He's willing to make that trade for sure.
One-point lead, ULM after the bucket by Colty Young. 83 seconds left on the regulation clock here in Pensacola.
And of course, after the timeout, they bring Mo back into the game on the offensive end.
Screen set, lob up top, and the finish by Ratliff. What a great play designed in the huddle.
There's nothing better than when you get to see a team execute a play called in the huddle. That means everybody's listening and paying attention. Ball goes right side, swing a player around on the left with the back screen and get to the rim.
Dijou with the dunk to put ULM back on top.
He's holding his left shoulder there.
Yeah.
He was doing it starting with the defensive play, but he comes down there and makes an emphatic offensive play.
1 point lead, Warhawks. Thomas, can he hit another three? Yes!
Check.
Michael Thomas with his 5th three-pointer of the night, 21, and a 2-point lead for the Cajuns. Timeout called by the Warhawks.
What
Big shot makers in the final minute.
What a night Thomas is having. After a well-executed play, then a dunk on the other end, the crossover dribble, and no hesitation at all for Thomas, who has just been feeling it on the night.
Averages 5 points per game and just a 29% three-point shooter. But here in the first round of the Sun Belt tournament, he's responded with 21 points on 5 of 8 shooting on his threes.
Yeah, averages 5 points. He's made 5 threes tonight.
Young man out of Hamilton Christian in Lake Charles, Louisiana, senior guard.
As you would imagine, that is a high for made three-pointers. He hit 3 against Rice, and that was back on November 19th. Had 3 against App State, and the only other time he had 3 was in their last ball game at South Alabama.
Yeah, already 4 points over his career high. What a performance by Michael Thomas tonight. Will it be enough to push Louisiana into the second round against Old Dominion?
Well, last time coming out of a timeout, at least when the Warhawks called timeout, remember the last time they came out, it was 2 passes and a turnover. So we just saw how well the Cajuns executed out of a timeout with a backdoor screen and a dunk. What has ULM drawn up, and did they pay attention the same way? Are they ready for it as well?
Bolden on the inbounds.
Somebody's got to go help him.
Yep. Ball gets to Bolden finally with 15 on the shot clock. Watson on the dribble drive, stops and shoots at the foul line when he was fouled. And he's going to go to the line for 2. That was a huge reaction by Watson there. He realized the contact, got the shot up, and almost had a 3-point play out.
You can see his reaction. Ooh, that was close. To be able to get that contact to go to the line. I'm not sure that's how they drew it up coming out of the huddle. The ball being picked up early on the dribble, needing to go save him and turn around, but he got the job done. Now hit the free throws.
Tyrese Watson, 11 second-half points after being scoreless in the first half. Makes it a 1-point game.
Remember earlier in the game, he had 3 free throws and missed 2. We were surprised just because of his free throw percentages. 86 in conference play, 81% overall on the year.
Cuts it to 1 with 25.6. Now the shot clock is off.
Tied.
So
there's a 2-point game.
Sorry, yes,
yeah, 2-point game from that 3-pointer. We're knotted up.
Yeah, 63-63.
So
what do you do if you're Louisiana? Do you play this all the way down for a last shot?
Absolutely. Do you just go to Mo to drive the lane, or are you going to get it to the hot hand and Thomas? It's going to Mo.
Mo on the drive, the scoop, missed high off the glass, rebound battled for, and the Warhawks have it. Shot at the horn and glanced off the rim. What happened there?
Well,
I think they thought they were out of bounds.
Exactly.
And it was not called out of bounds, and everybody kind of paused and stood. I think that was a 1 versus 8 or a 1 versus 9 game. App was the regular season champions last year. Tip is won by ULM. They'll start on offense, and the clock begins to tick down.
3 Warhawks in double digits, led by Bolden's 21. Diju's got 15. Watson has 13.
Diju trying to save it. Ball tipped back. Cajuns have it. Thomas races up the floor.
2 Cajuns in double digits, and both of them have 21. Thomas and Mo.
Ball goes back to Mo. Fumbled it. 10 on the shot clock. Corner 3. Garnett.
And you could tell that was going up, standing down there by himself in the corner.
Watson slips and falls down. And a traveling call.
He's going to yell he got pulled down, but you could just tell trying to dribble. See, he's trying to let him know, here's what I thought happened, but This would not be the time to get a technical, get in the official's face.
Exactly, making a little bit too much contact with the official right there, trying to illustrate his point.
Definitely don't need a 3. You've got 4 minutes to go. What you need is somebody needs a good offensive possession. No rushed shot. No need for a deep 3 if it's contested.
Cajuns have 9 threes, 5 of them by Michael Thomas tonight. Ball goes to Mo. Mo in a triple team, got fouled. Foul was going to be called. Was it on Diju? It is.
That's his
fourth on him. They can't afford to lose him. He's been such a big presence for the Warhawks tonight with 15 points and 5 rebounds. And 5 of 6 shooting from the floor and the free throw line, too. Another miss.
The Warhawks have left their opportunities at the free throw line 11 of 17 in this ball game. Just 6 of 10 from the line for the Cajuns. Now 7 of 11, and he's taken 10 of their 11. The only player, this would be like your trivia question. Who's the only other Cajun to attempt a free throw tonight? It's Hardy. He made the only one. All the other free throws have been done by number 8.
1 point lead for the Cajuns, and a foul is going to be called on the Cajuns on the floor. Both teams in the bonus. Garnett picks up the foul.
That's his 4th.
It's going to be number 4 on him. And the 1-and-1 coming up here for the Warhawks.
Well, if you're
Watson again.
If you're the Warhawks, this is who you want at the line. If
Yep.
you're the Cajuns, you do not want this. The percentages tell you it's better than good. He's making both of them. We know he missed 2 earlier, hadn't missed since.
And hit the big 2 with 25 seconds. Missed another.
It is.
Front into the 1-and-1, so that kills the free throw attempts right there. It's 3 misses for him tonight. Very uncharacteristic for Tyrese Watson.
Don't want to rush it. Take that deep breath, get into your rhythm.
Mo on the dribble drive, kick out. Thomas, does he still have the hot hand? Rim out that time. Rebound is controlled by Cook, and he ends up on the deck. So Zeke Cook goes up and gets the rebound, gets knocked to the floor. Let's see who the foul's going to be on.
I think it's going to be on 13. It's going to be on Wright. Take a look right here. He just slides over. Nobody puts a body on him. He slides over, finds the opening, hits the deck, but gets the foul called in the contact.
Yeah, on Willis, number 13.
I'm sorry, on Willis. I'm sorry.
Yep. So Willis is called for the foul. 1 on him. And 1-and-1 coming up for Zeke Cook. 79.5% free throw shooter.
Willis is one of those players that has the opportunity to make a statement here down the stretch. Comes in averaging 10.5 a ball game, but tonight just 5 points on 2 of 3 shooting.
Like I said earlier, he had a monster week, the final week of the season, combined 28 points and 30 rebounds in their losses to James Madison and Arkansas State.
They still have time. It's 3 minutes. There's still a chance to be the hero.
No doubt. Colty Young on the drive, and the dish inside shot was blocked. Willis had his shot blocked from behind.
Boy, and there was the opportunity. We were just talking about him. They get a beautiful pass through the lane right to him, goes up for the layup, gets fouled. Take another look on the curl. There he is, boy, wide open. And there's the contact coming from behind.
Thomas picks up his first personal foul.
Oh, they actually called it on. They actually gave it to Mo. It's his third.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Thomas got him from behind.
I thought so
for the
too.
block.
Yeah. I was with you. He's been a consistent 77% shooter from the line on the year. 1 of 3 tonight.
Not the time to start missing free throws if you're the Warhawks. And that was their 8th miss at the line. 11 of 19 now collectively as a team with 3:01 to go. Willis this time puts it in. Tied at 64.
Those what might have beens are easy to look at when the game is over, but those 2 missed free throws here in overtime and won the front end of a 1-and-1, you could be up 2, maybe 3.
No doubt. They go to Mo. Double team comes at him.
This is going up.
In the paint. Yeah, I mean, he's just the ball. No doubt. He splits the defense and draws the foul. He does a good job of just kind of worming his way through the defense.
If they call that on Diju, that's going to be his 5th. Looks like the long face and untuck of a jersey, and it is. It's going to be number 5.
Yeah, reach in right there.
Yep. Boy, what a ball game he had. It'll be crushing for the effort he had at the season. Comes to an end. 15 points on 5 of 6 shooting, 5 of 6 from the line, 5 rebounds. The only problem is the other 5. It comes in the foul column.
Yep. Monster night for AD Diju.
You know, but that's one of those situations. I don't care who's on defense. If 8 gets the ball within 15 feet and is dribbling, it's going up. You just have to play your position. You've got to slide, you've got to move your feet, put your hands up, and at best you hope you're going to force him to kick it out because you just know he's going to put his nose to the grindstone. He's going up. If he shoots it over you, you tip your cap. 14 free throws tonight is 8 of 12 at the line.
He's 1 point off his season high. He had 25 against Troy in their upset victory, 72-69, arguably their biggest win of the regular season.
That foul was on Wright. That's going to be his 2nd.
So Gopo in the game after Diju had to go to the bench with the DQ. More free throws for Tyrese Watson right here. Another chance for him to do exactly what he did with 25 seconds left in the game, and that's tie it. They're trying to determine, is this a shooting foul or is this going to be the 1-and-1?
Watson's doing his best to say I was shooting the ball.
Watson is lobbying. A stat broadcast that we used during the course of the game that's used throughout by the official scores showing 10 team fouls.
Yep. And they just acknowledge it. They say he's going to have 2 shots.
So 2 shots coming up for Tyrese Watson. Watson 13 points, 4 of 7 at the line. And got that one to bounce over. He hit the front of the rim and it had enough juice to bounce over and in.
See if he does it again. Last time that free throw right there was a deep breath. See if he does it here. That last time he went to the line, he missed the front end of the 1-and-1.
So much about being able to duplicate and replicate your routine every time you get up there. Watson's got a good one. We're tied at 66. Mo on the baseline.
Great job by Mo working that baseline to get position. Size advantage, 1 dribble, elevates and puts it in.
Season high 26 for now. El Mudo Ilkil. 2-point lead, the drive, the miss, ball tipped up in the air. Cajuns have the rebound.
It's one when you got your hand on, you got to grab it. Don't tap it to a teammate. There's too many bodies on the floor, and possession's too important. You get a hand on it, you got to bring that thing into your body.
3-pointer, Wright. Oh, what a huge shot by Christian Wright. Buries a long 3 and gives the Cajuns a 5-point lead.
That's his 3rd of the ball game. Shoots 35% on the year in conference play, but none bigger than that one.
Colty Young will try to answer, and he does! Colty Young answers with another huge 3 of his own, and it's back to a 2-point game.
Keith Richard calls timeout. Let's regather the troops. Take a look off the curl on the inside, kick it right back out, and without hesitation, takes it in motion, drains the 3 before the Warhawks call timeout.
And a 71-69 lead for the Cajuns with 1:17 left in our first overtime.
7 of 16 from behind the big line for UL Monroe. That's 44%. Cajuns 10 of 24 for 42%.
Look at your game summary. Watson hits 2 big free throws with 25 seconds left in regulation to tie the game. Michael Thomas, career high 21 points, 5 of 8 on his threes. Mo, 26 points, career high for him. That's our 3rd overtime game in the last 2 years here in the SunBelt Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. Possession for the Cajuns.
Going to the basket.
Like you said, it's going up. He dribbled it away.
Oh, and
then he kicked it away. Wow. Break opportunity, and Watson couldn't control the dribble.
Yeah, Derek Zimmerman screaming because they called it off of a Cajun. You could hear Derek Zimmerman. He was at half court screaming, no, review. Let's take another look at it because this is a breakaway opportunity to get fouled or tie the ball game. Watch right here, off the dribble.
It's off his foot, and it's off of Watson. Yeah, it went off the foot of Wright, the back foot of Wright, and then off of Watson, so it should be the Cajuns' ball.
This should get overturned and rather quickly, and that might be why the officials saw it go off his foot. He was turning and running down the floor. What he didn't see was that it then caromed off of Watson's foot, which is why it had so much momentum going out of bounds.
So again, a big review right here.
And again, one of those opportunities. Mo's got the ball. You know he's going to drive. He turns it over. Here's your chance. And then instead, this happens. Kickball. Off the heel, off the knee, and rockets its way out of bounds. Just another missed opportunity.
So the officials still at the table reviewing this.
Well, unless it looks like, and we're blocked from it, that when it kicked off the heel and then went off of Watson's knee, that when it was passing him, it went off the cage. And again, I didn't see that. Unless maybe it hit his outside hand when we were blocked by his body. Other than that, to me, it looked like it was a pretty clean ricochet off the heel, off the knee, and out of bounds.
Yeah, well, the video review that we've seen is that it will be the Cajuns' ball. But you're right, maybe they're seeing something that we're not seeing because it's taken them a long time for something that looked like was pretty cut and dried from my perspective. Yep.
Well, they're looking. I mean, they are slowly spinning that dial.
And they don't have any different angles than we do. They have all the camera angles that we do. So, I don't know. Let's see if we see something different this time. So Watson has the ball. Wright is running down the floor in front of him. And here it hits his right foot.
Right there. If it doesn't look like the ball changed a spin, that would have been the only thing they would have looked at, is that it would have gone back off of Wright's elbow or his hand. The official closest to us, you could tell it looked like he pointed to the baseline and then pointed his finger the other way. White's ball. Return.
So Cage's ball. 1:02 showing on the clock.
Now to get another stop. They gave you a gift last time when Mo turned it over on the dribble. You gave it right back. Can you find a stop here?
Thomas has been the star of the game along with Mo for the Cajuns. Thomas, the unexpected star with his 5 points per game, 21 tonight. Gets it back with 10 on the shot clock. Wants to attack the basket. Spin move, gets into the paint, a little bit of off balance, and the shot pass, whatever it was blocked, but he got it back and missed again. And they're going to call that a shot clock violation.
Yeah. This is going to get reviewed again, but I got to tell you, they missed another travel. All that spinning and dribbling, we talked about this earlier with Thomas. He has gotten himself into a position where sometimes he does a little too much, and he did that time. He took an extra hop and a step, got away with the travel before the wild shot went up. But then the question is, when he missed the wild shot that did not hit the rim, did the follow-up hit the rim before the shot clock went off? If not, then that's the correct call.
So we'll take a look and watch the clock. So here's what you called the travel right there. Yep.
All right, that doesn't come anywhere close. Picks it up, steps out.
Yeah, he hit the side of the rim right there. But where was the clock?
But where was the clock?
I'll need to see it again because I wasn't watching the clock. I was watching the shot. So
this has got to be one of those frame by frame sort of deals.
Yeah,
but
it
even
is.
but that's the thing, if the shot's gone up, right, and it's coming down, if it hits the rim, it should still be in play.
I'll try to keep one eye on the clock.
There's the travel that they didn't call.
And the clock is now, the ball is out of his hands at 1, so it's not a shot clock violation.
And there's it, and hits the rim right there.
Yeah, it's
hits
not
the
a
rim
shot
off the
clock.
glass.
So, okay, so whose possession?
It's going to be Cajuns' ball, and I'll bet you they put the clock back to either 30.7 or 30.9. Raging Cajuns will keep possession of it.
Because they called it a shot clock violation.
Right.
And it looked like the Cajuns had saved it, but who had they saved it to? Because the whistle blew the play dead.
I think it was still in his hands. But it does make an interesting scenario as to where they would give it. But you'd think he's holding. Watch one more time.
All right.
On the move and the spin in the lane, because the spin is where the travel happens that doesn't get called. Right here. See right there? There's 3 steps.
Okay.
Shoots it, it's blocked. Now it goes up, hits the rim right there. Raging Cajuns have the ball. And he throws it back, even though nobody has possession of it. It goes to Mo's knee.
Yeah.
So, at best case, Raging Cajuns are going to keep the ball. At worst case, if they claim nobody has possession, do you then go to what would be a jump ball or a tie ball? Then you got to see which way the arrow.
Yeah. Well, I know in the NBA, the rule here would be that they could tell, even though the whistle blew, that the ball was going to be in imminent possession of the Cajuns. They were going to have the ball.
Yeah, it was in their possession, and then when the ball stopped, he was passing it back to Mo, and it hit him in the knee. But he didn't go pick it up because they blew the whistle. In fact, he was immediately pointing at the rim, saying it hit the rim.
So the only way I think that it's not the Cajuns' ball is if somehow they ruled that it was a shot clock violation, which it didn't appear to be.
And even if they go to the possession arrow, look at it on the left of your screen. It's pointing to the Cajuns anyway. At this point, you need to be in a huddle. Let them talk about it, especially if you're the Warhawks, because you didn't get the rebound. Now, the only difference would be if they do stick with the shot clock violation, which I think they're going to overrule because it hit the rim. But this is your chance to be laying out a play. But all of the advantages in the replay seem to point to the Raging Cajuns keeping possession underneath their own basket with probably, I said 30.7 or 30.9 if they reset the clock.
Yes, they got a lot of layers to work through here. Not the least of which is how much time is going to be on the clock, because those 0.7 or 9, whatever it ends up being here that they add back on, it could be crucial here in the final half minute of the game or half minute of this overtime. I think we have a decision.
The call has been confirmed. It is a shot clock violation. The ball did not hit the rim.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, that's a stunner because it looked like it did hit the rim. And it looked like the ball was out of his hands before it hit 0. So
that's a fact. There's no question it was out of his hands before it hit 0.
I'm really surprised with that call, but a big break for the Warhawks here. They have possession.
In case you're wondering, do they try to go for a 3? I'll remind you again, 7 of 16 on the game. 1 for 1 here in overtime on 3-pointers.
So how quickly do they try to score here?
Well,
they're going to put 32 on there. So there's
go a little extra. Yep. Now, I'm old school, I guess. I'm not going for the 3 in the win right now. You've been given a gift after you turned it over a couple times. I'm going to try to drive the lane, get 2, see if I have a chance of getting a foul, and then play from there. I'm not going to take a desperation 3 to try to win it.
Yeah, Watson brings it across. 20 seconds on the clock. Gets it back. Works around the screen. Slips and falls down. Gets tied up. That's going to be the Cajuns' ball.
We saw him do that earlier in this overtime. Too much dribbling, hit the deck on the floor and a turnover, and it happens again.
What a huge mistake.
Trying to spin right there. And you see also sliding was Garnett, number 2 on defense. He slid as well. And then Watson just followed in his tracks, and he slipped on the floor. So now for the Warhawks, you got to foul right away.
Go for a steal. If you don't get the steal initially, it's a foul right away.
And you know the Cajuns are going to look to get it to Mo. He's basically taken every free throw for him tonight. 12 of the 14 attempts have been from him.
And it would be 2 free throws when you foul right away. Ball comes into Mo.
That's a travel,
and
too.
He traveled. He caught the ball and took steps before he put the dribble down. Maybe they've changed the rules of basketball.
I guess.
Long 3-pointer off the mark. That's going to do it. The Cajuns are going to win this game. 73-69 Louisiana with the victory. They will advance and play Old Dominion in the second.